Happy holidays, YouTube. What is up? Welcome into Attacking Third. We are so jazzed, so festive, frankly, to be here with you. Thanks for joining us live on YouTube. Like this video, subscribe. There's a whole conversation, a whole culture happening in the chat. People ask questions, they make friends, they yell at each other. It's pretty quite entertaining. Darian Jenkins, Sandra Herrera, I'm Lisa Carlin. Guys, you look so dang festive in your Santa hats. You look great.
Let's go.
Ho, ho, ho.
Let's go. I think I have a button on here. There we go.
Oh,
hey. Sandra wins.
There you go.
Lisa, I like yours.
Have a little light action going on.
Lisa, I like yours too. It's kind of giving Britney Spears with the middle part, the hair slicked on the sides too. It's kind of giving Britney Spears.
Thanks. It's called dirty hair, but thanks. I appreciate it. My sweater, my shirt, my mom gave it to me. She was like, you should wear it on the show. So Mom, this one's for you.
She's always looking out for us. I love it.
Guys, thanks for joining us on YouTube. We've got an awesome show for you. Don't go anywhere. Join the convo in the chat. Vote for us for best podcast, diverse voices, all the things, and don't go anywhere because Attacking Third, it starts right now. Hey, welcome into Attacking Third for a very bittersweet but exciting final Attacking Third of 2024 alongside Darian Jenkins and Sandra Herrera. I'm Lisa Carlin. It is festive feelings here on Attacking Third today because this is it. I mean, crazy to think, Sandra, that this is what, our fourth season, essentially our fourth year of Attacking Third, and it comes to a close today.
It's wild. I was thinking about that actually hopping on here, and I was like, gosh, I'm like just ready to ring in another holiday season with you, and feels extra special because we got Darian with us and closing this one out. So
I
got a 4-year-old baby.
Don't want to get sentimental too early. So, but just I'm in a good mood today. We'll just say that.
Oh, that makes me happy. Oh, D, I'm glad that you're with us. Year 2 under the belts with Attacking Third.
Year 2, holy shit! Who would have thought? This is a wild life we're living post soccer, and it's great. I'm so happy to be here, and I can't believe you guys have a 4-year-old baby and Attacking Third.
It's truly a toddler at this point.
First to do it. You guys are doing it, changing the game.
Child. Darian, just to put you on the spot here, second year with Attacking Third, second year in media and being on this side of it. What was your favorite thing about this year?
Well, I know we're gonna do our most memorable moments, but I think for me to wrap it all up, I think I feel, when you're playing or you're doing something, I'm just gonna refer to soccer, but you're in the zone and you feel like, oh, I'm meant to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I think this year I fell into that, and it's just felt very good. I'm friends with everybody I work with. I love you guys. I wake up grateful every day that I get to do this and still be so close to soccer, and we get to elevate the game and just like laugh every single time. Like, we have the best jobs in the world. And so I think that's the perspective change I had this year, where I just feel really, really grateful to be doing what I'm doing. And I think watching soccer take off, watching our channel take off, it's the perfect gift at the end of the year.
I just can't even deal with it anymore.
And bye, everybody. That's my wrap for 2024.
Oh God, yeah. I thought we were going to get sentimental to start, but
you threw it at me. I was like, oh.
Well, I wanted to know. I don't know. Sandra and I have been kicking it together for years. It's just I wanted to, check in, get a pulse check on you, D.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm alive,
guys. We have a freaking fabulous show planned for you to end the year. We are continuing with our team needs. We're talking Utah Royals. We've got updates on the Euros that come next summer. Of course, we're going to look back at 2024, do a whole year in review, our favorite moments and things that happened. And then in case you missed it. And you talked about, Darian, how this was a good present, a good gift for you to have, that you get to wake up and have the dream job. I mean, ditto. I know Sandra feels like that too. But an even better gift, if you're listening or watching to Attacking Third, is to vote for us. This is the last time we're going to bug you on the pod because this is our last show. But Attacking Third is finalists in 2 categories for the Sports Podcast Award, for Best Football Podcast and Diverse Voices Award. And the winners are decided 100% entirely by fan voting. So the best gift you could give us is to go vote for Attacking Third. You can vote until January 13th for the Sports Podcast Awards. There's a link to vote in the chat on YouTube, in the podcast description, and there's a QR code on your screen right now. Scan it and go vote. Sandra, they should vote for us, shouldn't they?
100%. I don't want to brag, but we win awards here at Attacking Third, and the only reason why we do that is because the good folks have been with us since day one, and even the casuals who come through and find out about us maybe today go out and vote for us. So it only happens. We only get dubs because of the people. So thank you all for voting if you've already voted. And I would encourage you to go ahead and tell your friends and family to vote as well. Probably a lot of people out there might be getting together for the holidays. Just be like, hey, can I borrow your phone real quick? And like have them vote for Attacking Third. Just saying.
Please go vote for us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for voting if you've already done it, and tell a friend to vote for us. Let's dive into it. Team needs. We're starting with the Utah Royals because everything that has happened and with transfers and trades. But before we even get into that, NWSL free agency is absolutely electric right now. It's hard to even do anything on my phone without being like, oh my gosh, another player is traded. So let's run through it. The biggest news that we have already touched on a little bit here at Attacking Third, but U.S. women's national team defender and Portland Thorns defender Becky Sauerbrunn has officially retired after winning the World Cup 2 times. She's a 2-time Olympian, winning gold and bronze. She's got 219 caps for the U.S. women's national team, 3 NWSL championships, 2 with KC, 1 with Portland. She's truly done it all. And to close out her career, she posted on social media saying, quote, "It was an honor and a privilege to play with you and for you." It's an end of an era, Darian, to say the least, with Becky Sauerbrunn retiring.
Also, the fashion in which she announced her retirement is so Becky Sauerbrunn-esque. I mean, always a very understated player, always championing kind of from the backside. She was never, the one that was crazy out there in the like marketing media world, but always was one that was shipping soccer and women's soccer and the rights for players more than anybody. She's a part of the BWPC as well. This is a person that has put everything and her platform on the line to help grow the game and slayed while she is at it. I'm throwing in all the Christmas puns unintentionally today. But Becky Sauerbrunn, absolute legend of the game, on and off field, incredible human being. And I just love that is the way that she bowed out. She waited until the end of the year. Everybody else had tours for their retirement. And she was just like, you know what? Here's a very beautiful letter I'm going to put out and have everybody in tears unexpectedly when they're sitting at home just going through the gram. And I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to see what she does post playing, because I know that she's just going to continue to give back to the game in any way that she can. But congratulations, Becky Sauerbrunn. You've inspired all of us on and off the pitch continuously.
At the end of Sauerbrunn's letter to fans and her teammates and everyone announcing her retirement, she does say, quote, "This isn't the end. I'll be around. I love this game too much to leave it for good." Sandra and Christine Cupo, you guys did a whole one-shot on this. So go listen to that for all the deep dive into Becky Sauerbrunn. Becky, thank you. It's been a joy and a pleasure to watch you. Good luck the rest of the way. Other big news that has happened, Angel City. They have signed forward Julia Dufour to a 3-year contract through 2027. She comes from Petty FC on an undisclosed transfer fee. I am not the resident French speaker here. Dee, how'd I do
it? Bonjour, salut, ça va? I had the privilege of playing with Julie Dufour in Bordeaux, and she's a really great player. She's very technical. She's very versatile. This was a really interesting signing to me for Angel City. That's not a name I expected to see. I do love that we're seeing so many French players, so many French national team players come over to the US and want to show their stuff and strut in the NWSL. Even so many of my former teammates, like Ule Sar, we were all teammates at Bordeaux. Ines, Claire Lavauger, and Angel City. I know we spoke about them in the last show. It feels like Julie Dufault is a great player, but it wasn't the player that you build your entire team around that we were saying Angel City needed to have. Yes, it adds depth, and she's a versatile player. She can play in a bunch of different positions across the front line and in the midfield. She even played outside back a little bit. But to me, it wasn't the powerhouse defining player where they play a certain type of way and we're bringing them in to shake everything up and just have an ultra attacking player that can score us some goals, because that was very clearly their issue this last year. So I have some questions about how Angel City is moving forward with this signing and what that means with what else they're going to do in this offseason.
Angel City has also reassured their backline, re-signing defender M.A. Vignola, who's been with the club since their inaugural season in 2021. So Vignola will stay with Angel City for another 2 years through 2026. Washington Spirit, they have snagged arguably one of the hottest free agent midfielders that is available this offseason. Japanese international Narumi has signed with Washington Spirit on a 2-year contract with an option for 2027. Sandra, this is a player immediately we starred at the end of 2024. So I was like, what year is it? Saying this is a huge get. What does she add for Washington? Why is this such a good get for Washington Spirit in particular to get Narumi?
I am so high on this signing for the Spirit. I think it says a lot about where they've been and where they're going. This is a team that wants to be the team that competes constantly in NWSL. And I think for some folks who maybe are sleeping a little bit on Narumi, I don't know why. She's been such an integral piece for the Courage for so long. And now maybe we're going to get to see some of that happen for the Spirit as well. I think it's also really smart how they're going to utilize her, Hirales and his coaching staff and the vision that they have for this player. I mean, you want to have those connective tissue type of players. And that's exactly the kind of profile that Narumi kind of fits for me. Whether you kind of work her into a box or different shapes in that middle third, she is going to be an effective player. And maybe this is a little bit of some, insurance policy. There are some players in that middle third for Washington who picked up some injuries down the stretch of 2024. How is their progress going to look in 2025? Maybe they take they're obviously going to want to take their time and make sure those players can get back to speed. And they're going to be able to do that because they have such a kind of complete player in Narumi to kind of slot into those midfield positions. So I'm eager to sort of see how it looks in 2025 as well, because they're going to have eventually at some point in 2025 regular season, they might have a little bit of champagne problems in that midfield. But for now, I think they'll have an easier way to kind of figure some things out in terms of shape and how things look.
Exactly.
Ooh, I was thinking that too with the champagne problems, because we saw that with Gotham.
Yeah.
Saw it with Gotham happen this last year. I know we're going to get to that side of everything, but I wonder with how stacked that midfield is. You have Corey Bethune coming back. I'm sure there's going to be other players that we see coming in. They're rookies who excelled this last year. How do you make room for everybody and keep everybody happy? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they could push Hal Hirschfeld a little higher too at times. Let her get out of that number 6 role, make her play more of an 8 and be more of a box-to-box midfielder. That could help alleviate.
Could be good for her game.
The troubles. Yeah. Because once Andy Sullivan comes back and you have Narumi, that is champagne problems. That is champagne problems. It could change also the style that they play. We don't even know. We get a whole year.
They could trade everybody else. Yes. We don't know what's going to happen.
That's how good of a signing it is, though. We're just like,
Elsewhere in front office news, Bay FC, they've named Matt Potter as the permanent sporting director. Potter's been with Bay since December of 2023. He was initially the technical director, and then halfway through last season, he became head of football operations and the interim sporting director. Now he is the full-time sporting director. I mean, he's been all over the place in NWSL as the head coach for Kansas City Current. He was with the U.S. women's national team for several years, helping them win the World Cup in 19. He was a U23 women's national team head coach in 2020. He's been everywhere. Now he's the permanent sporting director at Bay FC. In the South, Houston Dash, they've announced 2 new contracts for midfielder Belle Breedy and defender Kristen Westphal. So Dash securing their rosters and some of their free agents. And then the big one, we see you guys on YouTube in the chat. Since the moment we started this live stream, you've been asking about this rumored trade. Guess what? We're talking about it. U.S. women's national team forward Lynn Williams is reportedly being traded from Gotham FC to Seattle Reign. This news broke on social media thanks to Dan Laletta and Jenna Tonelli, saying that multiple sources have confirmed this. Jenna Tonelli also saying that she's been told by sources close to Gotham that Lynn Williams wished to finish her career on the West Coast and the club wanted to support her. Sandra, this is huge, huge news if this happens, when it happens, but reportedly it seems true for now.
I mean, we're going to get the details of the trade in terms of what's going the other way for Gotham. That's the other part of this move. But I think for now, for Seattle, big win, big get. And I think in terms of players and how they want to navigate their careers moving forward, sometimes, you know, at a certain point in your career, you want to go home. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, should be encouraged more in the league, in my opinion. And she wanted to go ahead and get back to the West Coast, and it sounds like Gotham were open to listening for moves that could benefit all parties. But I think for the Seattle Reign of it all, massive get. I think this is a team that's obviously coming off of a really, really tough 2024 season where honestly just nothing seemed to go right at times for them. And when I think of Lynn Williams getting into a team environment led by Laura Harvey, I have to imagine that good things are going to happen for Seattle in 2025.
This is huge for the Reign. I think this is define a new Seattle Reign than we've ever seen before. Because if you have a player like Lynn Williams on your team, you're changing your style of play so that she can get on the ball, so that she can get to goal. You're no longer relying on what they did with Pino, Rose Lavelle, with deep crosses, the 1v1s wide, but really just sending balls in and looking for people to finish. You want Lynn on the ball, running at defenders and goalkeepers with space ahead of her. So I'm so interested to see what Laura Harvey's going to do. And it's funny because I said at the final, y'all need a player like Lynn Williams. And she joked like, oh, I don't know if we could ever get her. Boom, bat. God damn. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Laura Harvey.
The facilitator. Look at that. Look at that.
I don't know. I'm in the zone.
There are a lot of teams that need
ask me anything.
GMs right now, Darian. You could be getting signed. Guys, don't take her from us. We need her here.
No poaching.
Oh no, I'm not going back to office side of NWSL. There's no chance.
New episode, a different day. Let's go.
Yep.
Exactly. Let's talk team needs. Let's talk this offseason because of all the trades and transfers that we just went through, one team wasn't listed at all in any of these, Utah Royals. This is a club that has a lot that they need to bulk up on. They were an expansion side last year. They finished 11th place in 2024, just 25 points, 7 wins, 4 draws, 15 losses, a goal differential of -18. And the change that happened mid-season for Utah was crucial for them. They started with the #1 draft pick in forward Ali Setnor, who was nominated for a 2024 Young Player of the Year and absolutely led this Utah side. In the middle of the summer, though, they picked up big signings, including Japanese international Mina Tanaka, Canadian international Chloe Lacasse, Spaniard Claudia Zornoza. All of them came in and made an immediate impact. Plus, head coaching changes happened in the middle of the season. Jimmy Koenraerts was named the interim in about June, and he absolutely turned the season around. He's now named their head coach for next year. And since Koenraerts took over in June, and the final 11 games for the Royals last year, they finished with 5 wins, 2 draws, and just 4 losses. Things got so much better. Darian, when you think about Jimmy Koenraerts and what he can potentially do with a full offseason, a full preseason, and a full year under his belt, how dangerous could this Utah Royals team be?
Extremely dangerous. I expect the Royals to come in and be the fittest team in the NWSL this next year. Because they're still a young team, what you're going to rely on is defensively, how you recover, how you can suffocate teams. because the style of play is gonna take time. It's gonna take time to build. It's gonna take time to build that chemistry, and I expect them to also make some more signings. That team needs a bit more depth. I love that they traded for Alex Loera. I think that's huge. I'm sad we never got to see her play with Bay, but I like this for her. I think she can also come in and lead this team in the midfield. She can also be a bruiser. She can supply balls to the forwards, which I think they were lacking a little bit. They got more of it at the end of the season, but there just needs to be more depth, more competition in this team. And I mean, if I'm Jimmy Kronratz, I'm looking at Kristen Hamilton.
Yeah.
Get you a goal scorer. Get you somebody that you don't have to just rely on Ali Sentinor to lead the team on the attacking line. And also, that's somebody that she can build off of. I think if you bring Kristen Hamilton too, you can also bring Elizabeth Ball. Add some more depth to your center back position. That's another player that you can bring into a 3-back that can do really well, that also has more speed than anyone else in their back line. I think they have a lot of flexibility. I think they can add a lot of big names, a lot of weapons to their team. I'm excited to see how they come out. I just imagine it's going to be all hell breaks loose, and they are going to be running every single team down this next season.
Utah's also acquired forward KK Ream too, and with Alex Luera coming in as a midfielder from Bay FC. You mentioned Kristen Hamilton; she's the first one I had on my list. I like the shout for Ebal. They've both played with Luera at Kansas City, so that relationship is already there. There's already a bit of a partnership, and Alex Luera is a very influential player in the midfield. She can play on both sides of the ball. She can contribute in the attack. Even having Luera is going to help Ali Sentinor in what she can do moving forward. Sandra, when you think about Utah, what is the next evolution for them? What is the next step, right? As an expansion side, they didn't have the season that they wanted, but they didn't finish last. So like it could always be worse. But what's next for Utah? Where do they need to go?
No, they finished the 11th, right? And this was themselves digging themselves out of a much lower hole than they had to even end the season with. We're talking a near last place finish where they were for the first half of the season, and then they found themselves kind of inching closer and closer to that AC playoff line. And maybe there'll be folks that are saying that we're already too high on Utah for 2025, but that stuff matters. I mean, they're the only second half bottom table team that went on an undefeated run in their final 5 games of the season. I think they were the only second half table team that had put together like a 3-game win streak in their final 5 games of the season. And that stuff matters. The momentum matters. It's why Conrads was given the promotion. They removed the interim tag. They said, okay, things are working here. Let's keep it going. And they have to make more moves. I like the signing of Loera. I think it actually raised more question marks for Bay FC than it does for Utah. I mean, this was a player that they wanted to build their team around. And then now they traded this player for, what was it, $25K ultimately, after they kind of gave up, I think it was $175K to Kansas City Current. So I think it's more question marks for Bay FC than Utah. I think it's a win for them, but this is also a player that's coming off of an injury. She's working her way back. So I don't know if she's going to be that sort of next immediate player, impact player for Utah. I think it's a great signing. I think she will eventually be that type of player, but this is a player that they have to work back and integrate back into a regular season form. So I think they still need to make some moves. I don't know if I agree it's on the attacking side quite yet. I'd like to see them maybe get another center back. I think that is a goal of Conrad as well. Yeah, I would love to see Ball. Ball wants to go back to Utah. Sure, why not? I don't know if she does though.
But I throw Kelly Hubley into that defensive mix.
I was going to say there's a number of free agents. I think there's a ton of center backs that they can look at and maybe get into negotiations with. But you know what? It's free agency season. You have to pitch yourself to the players that you want to try to bring into the mix. But I definitely think they need to shore up maybe another areas of the back line. I'd like to see them get another kind of possessive orientated type of center back player. I think that will help them moving forward. You got to get that spine in order.
Sam Hyatt.
We just went to Portland off the market.
Off
the market. Yeah, that would have been incredible.
That would have been a big move.
Who knows if maybe they were in negotiations with her, but she chose just Portland. But that would have been a really, really good sign.
Darian, what do you think about still on the market? Ziara King in this front line with Utah?
I could see that. That could be a really good move.
Yeah.
You guys are giving make former Utah players go back to Utah. This is incredible.
I'm just trying to think of they just need more defining players in the attack that's not just Ali Sentinor.
Yes.
They need a different type of caliber players.
Stars. They need stars. They have too many role players.
I don't know if it necessarily stars, because I just think they need different wrinkles to it. Like Kristen Hamilton is a great hold-up 9 player. She can finish off of any surface. Ali Sentinor can score bangers literally anywhere on the field, either foot. And then you have a player that's a 1v1 artist like Ziara King. I think that would be, you have different wrinkles in your attack. You don't play just one type of way. You offer something different across it. And right now, you're right. They don't have stars besides Ali, arguably, but they just need something different. They need a little bit, someone to pull different type of questions on each sector of the front line.
I do wonder if they are going to make a move for that kind of marquee type of player in the attack, just because, again, this can go across the board for all teams. What I'm about to say, there are a lot of teams out there that are probably going to feel that they were affected by injury, but that happens over the course of a long season, especially towards the end of one, where you're like, gosh, what if we just had player X, Y, or Z? So I do wonder if maybe with some of the players that they do have right now at this moment, that they still are maybe in a kind of building towards something mindset. So who knows if they're actually going to go out and get that type of player, because maybe they like the pieces that they have at the moment. You know, we're not even talking about Chloe Lacasse at this point. Like, this is another player that was affected by injury. Like, and now they've got Loera, which again, we're high on, but again, another player that they're going to have to work and integrate into. So are we going to maybe see a little bit of a repeat that we saw in Utah, where they have some really low lows, but maybe some really good momentum shifts as well? I'm not too sure. It's unclear.
Yeah, in our chat, Marcus is like yelling Chloe Lacasse at us. We know.
Only not saying her because she's injured. She's going to be out for a while. That's the only reason.
Yes,
like season's coming quick. Preseason
so
starts
like,
like January 18th.
Yeah,
it's so are they going to try to just sort of like patchwork some of this stuff moving forward, which is dangerous if that's how you want to roll, you know? But we've seen teams make second half seasons work in their favor. Is that the energy that we're going to get from Utah? We'll see.
We'll keep you guys updated on the trades, transfers, everything that happens out of Utah. Don't go anywhere. Euro 2025 is around the corner. It's crazy to think about. We're diving into it next. Stay with us. Countdown is on for Euro 2025. It's around the corner. The 14th edition will take place in Switzerland from July 2nd to July 27th. It's a 16-team tournament across 8 venues across Switzerland. A lot of fans are showing up and showing out. England are currently the reigning European champions. They will also be there. This women's Euro is a little bit different, right? We're seeing updated technology happening in the ball for Euros. That is going to happen. So there's going to be, quote, faster and more accurate officiating, which is going to help with VAR. Guys, maybe some of our holiday wish list stuff is already coming true in Euros 2025. But the draw happened. So now we finally know the groups. Let me run you through the 4 groups of the 16 different teams that'll take place in Euro 2025. Group A, it features the hosts of Switzerland with Norway, Iceland, and Finland. Group B with Spain, Portugal, Belgium, and Italy. Group C, Germany, Poland, Denmark, Sweden, and Group D with France, England, Wales, and the Netherlands. Immediately, Darian, when you see these 16 teams, the 4 groups, who's the group of death? Who is the group that you are like, I do not want to be in that one?
Self-named Group D.
Yep.
I'm going to go France, England, Wales, Netherlands. To me, hands down, this is the group of death. Obviously, England, the holders, I think that they're going to come out, want to prove themselves again. France, they're gonna fight. We say every tournament, allez les bleus. We say this every tournament, but they just lack something. But maybe this is it. maybe this is the tournament where they're able to finally win it, put it away, be consistent throughout it. They, again, still have one of the most stacked teams in the world, if not the most, and just haven't won it yet. They maybe they can do it this time. Wales, I think it's incredible that they made it, how they qualified, making history for the Welsh. And this is a team that has so much pride, incredible players, and so much pride, even more so, I think, than any country that is here because of how hard they had to fight to do it. And I think they can really play spoiler. I mean, when you're that together with your teammates, you can go through anything. This team has proven that. So I want to see them go up against France, England, and the Netherlands. This is also a team that we tend to sleep on sometimes, that I think if they're consistent enough can come out and score a lot of goals and punish these two big dogs in this group. So to me, Group D is the group of death. What about y'all?
Absolutely. Group D, hands down. And all the stuff you mentioned about Wales, they could for sure play spoiler, but they're not going to go down without a fight. If they go down, right? But they're not going to go down without a fight. So at any time that you're playing them, it's not like a walk in the park. It's like you have to give your all because they're going to come out, fight tooth and nail, and get it. Sandra, you agree? Group D with France, England, Wales, Netherlands, group of death?
Yeah, D is for death. And I think for me, when you think of the concept of a death group, it's like here are here's very good teams, and B, one of them aren't going to advance. And that's what makes like a group death for me. We're not talking about chaos and who's the most chaotic group. We're talking about death, that there's a guarantee that you are not going to advance out of this group. So it's absolutely Group D.
Okay, so when you think about opposite of that, group of death, which nation has the easiest path? Which nation are you like, okay, this group stage is going to be a walk in the park. They just got to then come to play once they get to the knockouts. Sandra, who are you thinking?
I don't know if any of these groups are really, really soft, honestly. I think maybe if you're a casual and you're looking at these things, you're thinking like, oh, surely Spain is going to go out and handle Group B, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think Italy has shown some great stuff recently to close out this year. I think they're going to maybe be that type of very frustrating team in the group, and I don't think we can either count out Portugal or Belgium either. It's different when you get into these type of tournaments, the ones that have all of the high stakes in them. So I wouldn't say that any group is a cakewalk, but I would say as hosts for Switzerland, you have to look at your group and say there's an opportunity here for us to get out of this and really maybe kind of generate some good energy and create a little bit of history along the way.
Darian, who's got it easy? Anyone?
Spain. The first I saw this, I was like, well, Spain's going to get through. I do think it maybe it won't be a walk in the park. Maybe we were not going to see a blowout like 10, 11, 12 goals. I mean, I hope not, because these other teams can be really good. Are they as consistent as Spain? No. And Spain is Spain, and they're going to do Spain things and dominate with possession and frustrate teams. So I expect them to get through. And then from there, it's pretty equal to me on who can possibly make it, who can possibly not.
It all kicks off July 2nd, and all of these teams have more to play for than just a title, a trophy, and pride, because money. The Euros 2025 prize money is a 156% increase from 2022, 41 million euro total prize money. So each participating nation is going to receive 1.8 million euros just for participating, and the winners can receive up to 5.1 million euros. So for the first time ever, 30 to 40% of this prize money is going to be allocated directly to the players. Darian, it is about time that these players are directly receiving and getting their bag.
Show me the money. Finally. Yes, get your bag. This is how it should be. There should be, you're adding extra games into your year. You should be paid for it, and it should be substantial. And I love that they jumped in a massive increase from the prize money. What was it? 154% or something like that. I said the wrong number. It was something in the hundreds of percentage wise of how much it increased. Oh my God, I was close.
You were very close.
I was close. But this is how the players should be paid. The men, I mean, we can compare it to the men all we want, but it would never be a question that they're paid this much. In fact, they're probably arguing they should be paid more. it's about time the women get paid for massive tournaments like this that draw in so many fans to different locations that support the team. So I love it. Pay the freaking players, get your bag, win some games, and let's play some football.
I cannot wait for Euros 2025. It's around the corner next summer. But before we close out 2024 and look ahead to that, we got to look back at 2024. Don't go anywhere. We are talking our favorite moments and memories of this past year. Welcome back to Attacking Third for one of our final two segments of 2024. We are closing it out. So what better way to do that than taking a trip down memory lane? 2024 was packed with a lot. Huge milestones, records that were broken, everything that happened. So we're going to give you our favorite moments, our favorite memories, if you will, of 2024. Darian, you're kicking us off. Take us down memory lane.
All right. Well, just as the umbrella, let's just talk about the records that were broken this year, and specifically the attendance records, the media records that were broken for the league. The way that I looked at this is I took it from my perspective from when I was playing, because I would kill to be playing in this moment in women's soccer. I love that I'm peripherally a part of it in the media world now, but this is what I dreamed of happening. This is what I dreamed of with these records being broken, especially with Orlando Pride. That's the last team I got to play with, and seeing from that moment from when I retired to now, how they brought in a proper GM who was just a badass. Seb Hines becoming one of the first Black coaches to win Coach of the Year and shatter records and shatter the way a coach should look like and how they should coach, how they should talk, and inspiring so many others who want to follow his suit and know now that that's possible. Seeing my dear friends win a championship just makes my heart happy. The huge moment for me, though, was the interview I got to do with Marta. She's a player I know all of us have admired since we ever started watching the women's game, and who we modeled our games after, who inspired us to know that it's possible to play at a level that she played at and look good, feel good, be kind of a bad bitch while you're doing it. She is that woman. And I'm so honored I got to play with her. And then the fact that I got to sit down and do an interview with her where we just got to talk about her journey and how she wants to lead the game and continue to make the game better while she's playing. And it was a very full circle moment for me. And I think, to wrap it up, the NWSL final was so different than one, playing in it, two, going to it last year when I was working for CBS and A3 and also Gotham, where I think I had not a good relationship with how I was viewing myself retired and also watching my friends play the game. It felt mentally really, really difficult for me to be in that. And after I got to be at the final this last year, where I was so happy to see everybody. I was so happy to be at CPKC Stadium and see the growth of the game and see this women's specific soccer stadium there, see my friends excel, all of the programming around women's soccer finally, where the final actually feels like a celebrity event that you want to be at, where they're offering players retirement plans and events to help them transition and make more money while they're playing and start businesses. And seeing big sponsors come in and want to elevate the game. It made my heart so happy. It was just very full circle for me. And it was very affirming, kind of what I said at the beginning, that I am just on the right path with what I'm supposed to be doing. That isn't me playing. And I think that's been a very hard journey to find. So that is my wrapped in a very long monologue way of saying that.
Again, it's just tissues over here. I know, Sandra, we're both just like, and the interview, Darian, that you did with Marta was so cool. It was so cool.
Aw,
if you
thank
haven't
you.
listened to it or watched it yet, go watch it. It's on our YouTube page. It is raw. It's emotional. How many times did you make Marta cry? Like 3, 4? We never get to see that side of her. It was very cool. It's been an awesome year, Sandra. It really has.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm so proud of you, Darian. I think there's just like there's like that first year, you never know what to expect, but then something very special along the way happens. You get more and more reps, you spend more time together, and I can't help but echo your sentiments from earlier at the top of the show, where we have some of the best jobs in the world, let alone this business, and the fact that we get to do this with each other is just the cherry on top of a very delicious Sunday. And so I'm very, very grateful for another 2024, another year of doing A3 and doing it with alongside all of you. But as far as the soccer things, I've been thinking about it all year ever since it happened, but Mexico's big Gold Cup win against the United States women's national team is way up there for me for a number of reasons, because that was also one of the things that really helped kind of kick off and kickstart attacking third. A number of us were on the ground. I remember being out there with Jenny Chu. Quick shout out to her. And seeing Jess Mack get involved in all this with attacking third as well, and CBS Sports was very, very cool. So it was just a really good feeling of like, this is us and this is what we're doing and this is what women's soccer deserves. And so seeing it all kind of in a big type of event scene like Gold Cup was really, really special. And being able to see Mexico kind of take these steps forward, seeing the belief in these players, and kind of knowing that this has just been something that has been worked towards for a very, very long time. To watch it all kind of come to life was so special. And that win really happens because there was an incredible goal by Ovalle, and her Gold Cup goal for me is massive. That, again, talking about things that have stuck with us all year, that is something that has stuck with me all year. Just an incredible player. And that was also something that was really, really cool. I think when we were recapping Gold Cup back in the day, I think I mentioned that to you all, that some of the really special things that happened during that time was watching so many other people fall in love a little bit with that Mexican women's national team, and sort of seeing this very special player that a lot of Mexican fans have known about for years, because this is one of the players that started very early on in Tigres Femenil in their beginnings, and she's been a superstar. So she's been the magic. And now with these types of tournaments, you get introduced to new eyeballs and casual fans. And so now so many people know the name Ovalle. And so I think we're going to only continue to hear that moving forward. And it just felt like a really special year to just sort of see so many other Latinas in football reach these sort of pinnacles, whether it was Ovalle getting those special moments, or again, Marta. I think we're going to be talking about her a lot during this reflective segment, but seeing Marta go through her season with Orlando Pride, and even alongside with Brazil at the international stage during the Olympics, and watching her reach all these pinnacles and continue to check off things on her sort of accolades list, and still be that very, very influential player and person for so many people in the space, was incredibly fulfilling for me on a personal level. So I always will want to sing the praises of Latina people in football. And I love that so many of them were part of so many highlight reel type of moments in 2024, Ovalle and Marta just being two of them. And of course, I'm going to give a special shout out to the gold medal win for the U.S. women's national soccer team, because that was incredible to watch as well. Because within that, getting to witness this sort of comeback year for Mallory Swanson, I think was really, really special as well. I don't know if it was something that we talked about enough. It was such a horrific injury that we saw her sustain in 2023, to the point where it absolutely affected their 2023 World Cup. I think now knowing the run that they had in the Olympics confirms that even more so. But this is a player that does so much on the pitch for club and country, and kind of walks away with like very little recognition for her role in those things. I mean, she puts together MVP caliber type of seasons for Chicago and doesn't make, MVP finalist list or get the votes. And we see sort of these very global awards come in, and she doesn't get the recognition really there either, but she just goes out there and continues to do her job and be productive. This is a player who in 2023 went out with that horrific injury, and yet still ended that year as the leading goal scorer for the United States women's national team. That's how impactful and important that player is. And the fact that we got to see her not only return to play from such a very serious injury, but do it in a way where she had so much success for club and country, I think is incredibly special. So shout out to all these incredible individual players for a great 2024.
I love that, Sandra. You even reminded me, I forgot to mention in my monologue about how much I love you guys and love what we're doing. A big highlight for me was Triple Espresso.
Yes.
Watching these players at the Olympics and seeing 3 Black women finally at the front line for the women's national team score 10 out of 12 goals at the Olympics to win them a gold medal made my young Darian that wanted to see players that looked like her in these spaces with braids, with natural hair, looking swaggy on the field, not taking shit, talking shit, and having fun while they're doing it is so full circle to me. And watching these players now get paid, now get the recognition that they deserve, and win a gold medal while they're at it with a totally different look and style of play to this women's national team, I think has totally reset the way that, especially in the US, we look at what a soccer player is supposed to do, say, and look like. And so that was a really big moment for me this last year that just made my heart so happy and made young Darian feel honored that she gets to watch this and sit and talk about this with you guys and really watch history in the making, because I think that is going to reshape the way that we look at women's soccer in the US.
So many things were big moments of growth this year, right? Triple Espresso, the US winning gold, like there are so many. And being in this women's soccer space, covering it for as long as we have, everyone always talks about the growth and it's happening. And sometimes when you're in it, you don't always see it. And this year, I feel like as more entrenched in women's soccer as I've ever been in my life, I could actively see the growth of this sport in the recognition of players like Triple Espresso with Trinity Rodman, Mal Swanson, Sophia Smith, but everything from the start of the year, the draft, the NWSL draft that ended up being the last ever draft. That's so much growth for the sport and for these players. And so my year started there, right? Getting to host that draft and being a part of history, essentially, as it was the last draft, to the Orlando Pride and all the records they broke this year. I mean, of course, winning the Shield, winning the NWSL championship, Marta and everything. But the fact that Orlando went 24 games unbeaten, dating back to 2023, like that was so cool. That was a moment of like, wow, this team is doing things that no one else is doing. And then they bring in freaking Barbara Banda. And she joined this league in April 19th. And she changed football. Watching her play was so cool because in her first 12 games, she had 16 goal contributions, 12 goals, 5 assists. That is insane. It was like fireworks constantly. The constant record-breaking transfer fees for Rachel Kudananji to Bay FC and then Barbara Banda. That was something that was really cool to see. And that's what I mean about like the tangible growth that I could see and feel this year covering this sport. Plus Jonathan Giraldez and what he was able to do with Adrian Gonzalez with Washington Spirit. And then when Jonah Giraldez came in, and it was a really seamless transition for what this team was building upon to take them all the way to an NWSL championship and putting the players on his roster in the best positions to succeed. Everyone from Tara McKeown in the back line to Croy Bethune setting her up for success in the midfield, and Hal Hirschfeld and young players to Trinity Rodman up top and all the rookies that they dealt with at Washington. There was so much there that happened. We also said goodbye to so many legends this year. And those are memories that will stick with me because I grew up watching them. Alex Morgan, when she announced that she was retiring and then that she was pregnant, expecting her second child, that was like a big moment for me because I grew up watching Alex Morgan. And then we got to cover her final game on CBS. And Darian and I wore pink pre-wrap and we just got to talk about her for days on end. And the fact that it was so quick, but also so meaningful, and her career was so meaningful for what she had done on and off the pitch. That to me was a really big moment this year, getting to cover that, having the first NWSL built stadium in CPKC and getting to go there and having them sell out every single home game. And everything domestically that happened, but then internationally at the Olympics, getting to watch 56 NWSL players compete at the world stage at the Olympics, representing 11 of the 12 Olympic teams there. It was so cool. The growth of women's soccer and women's football is absolutely real this year. Even at the Olympics Canada, right? They went undefeated in their group stage. They got docked points. They went through everything. A 6
Drone gate.
Drone gate that happened.
Oh, shit.
You forgot about Drone gate, didn't you? There's
Yes,
so much. I mean, there's like lists and lists to go upon. Let us know your favorite, your most memorable moments of 2024, right? Seb Hines becoming the first Black coach to win an NWSL title. Emma Hayes taking over for Twyla Kilgore. I don't even know, guys. Gotham FC signing all the U.S. women's national team players to their roster. All the retirements that happened with Alex Morgan, Merritt Mathias, Sinead Farley, Kelly O'Hara, Desiree Scott, Christine Sinclair, Becky Sauerbrunn, Alyssa Nair internationally, right? Brazil being named host country for 2027 Women's World Cup, and then all the records that were broken. Temwa Shawinga going on an absolute tear. What am I missing, guys? What else stands out to you?
CBA 2.0. Yeah. I'm here for it. It's such a good one too. It's something that I love to see. You could see how it's empowering players already. And I think that's what's so special about that type of moment coming into play. You know, it's hard not to get a little bit verklempt or emotional going through some of these things or recapping some of the year with the two of you. Women's soccer, women's sport, it gives and gives and gives. And very rarely does it receive. So the fact that we're going through all of these things in which we're noting the change, and it's so important that you say that, Lisa, that you can actually feel it and see it, it means so much. So, here's to 2025, and hopefully there's a little bit more the other way for women's sport.
We need our drinks. We need to cheers.
Toast.
Toast and
cheers. Soda Stream, sponsor us.
Cheers to us, to everyone that listens and watches Attacking Third, to 2024 and all that it brought us, all the celebrations, to the U.S. winning gold, to Orlando doing the double, winning the Shield and the championship. To everyone, guys, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of it. We so appreciate you. We'll see you in 2025. For those with us as a pod and on YouTube, stick with us. We got bonus A3 extra time. We still got more to talk about. We just never want it to end. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Attacking Third, bonus episode, bonus segment time, A3 extra time, whatever you guys want to call it. It doesn't matter.
A gift.
A gift. A little holiday gift under the tree in case you missed it. News and notes, because there's so much that has happened. Although this is our final segment and we're ending our episodes here, reminder, we do A3 one shot. So follow us as a podcast on social media and subscribe on YouTube, because when big things will happen over the next 2 weeks before the New Year's, guys, we're going to still be here. We're still going to be live on YouTube, even though we say this is our last episode. But in case you've missed it, the last couple of days, we've had some awards given out. The best FIFA football awards have been announced. The best FIFA women's player goes to Spanish international Aitana Bonmati, the Ballon d'Or winner. The best FIFA women's goalkeeper, we talked about it here on this show. There is no one more deserving than U.S. women's national team and Chicago Red Stars goalkeeper Alyssa Nair for her absolute heroics, helping the U.S. win gold. The best FIFA women's coach, none other than U.S. women's national team and former Chelsea head coach Emma Hayes. A heck of a year for Hayes, going from club to country, international, and winning gold with the U.S. The Marta Award, the inaugural, the first ever. It would be silly, frankly, if it went to anyone else. So it goes Marta. She's done
Legendary.
it all, including winning an own award named after her. And then for the best FIFA Women's 11, that dropped, and the 11 players that were named, but most notably Americans. We got 3 of them listed, with goalkeeper Alyssa Nair, defender Naomi Girma, and midfielder Lindsay Horan named to the best FIFA Women's 11. Those were just some of the awards that have happened.
I love it. And I'll take over to the African Awards, Confederation of Africa Awards, CAF, because we had 4 NWSL players make the women's best 11, starting with our girl, friend of the show, Michelle Alozie. I think this is absolutely deserved from this player. Linda Motalo, Barbara Banda, obviously, she's sweeping every single award she could possibly win, and it's incredibly deserved. And then another friend of the show, Asisat Ashwala. I think she has been on the best 11 for this award. How many years in a row for African footy, but absolutely deserved. And the footballer of the year goes to none other than Barbara Banda. Talk about a record-breaking year. Lisa, I know you gave her some of her flowers earlier, but I mean, what can she do? And she has set a bar so high that I think she'll actually continue to push. But absolutely deserved to be Africa's footballer of the year. Shout out to Barbara Banda.
Darian, I just want to interrupt for a second here. Barbara Banda, she's winning so many awards. The freaking Women's Footballer of the Year award. But she wasn't an MVP in the league that she plays in.
She was a finalist.
She was a finalist. I mean, if we didn't have...
That's right, Lisa. Go down with that ship in 2024, girl.
Still trying to fight it. I'm sorry. Over 20 goals in the league. You can't argue that. But I do agree. It is a little absurd.
Yeah. She's racking them up, rightfully so. There's not enough love we can give to Barbara Banda. Maybe since we went to celebrate African players, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Europe as well. Let's stay international. Folks who have been living under a rock, UEFA Women's Champions League group play is officially over. We've got some knockout round qualifiers coming up. Here are the group stage winners. In Group A, it is Lyon, the winners with 18 points. Wolfsburg is out of Group A as well with 9 points. Group B, Chelsea winning that group and Real Madrid exiting out of that group as well. Arsenal winning Group C, and Bayern Munich has also advanced. And in Group D, shocker here, Barcelona won that group with 15 points, but Man City right behind them, level on points as well. So we're gonna have some fun knockout rounds for sure. Big teams involved in this one moving forward. Darian, I gotta ask you your thoughts though on that final group stage match between Man City and Barca. What were your thoughts? Because you made a certain kind of prediction here.
I should have known you were gonna call me out. I did say I didn't think Barca. Well, I still stand on this. Barca can't handle a good press.
It's a good take.
I think if City were at full strength, which my bad, everybody, I forgot how down bad City are right now. Very sadly, they have a lot of big injuries, a lot of knocks that took players out for this game. But yeah, Barca just kind of hammered them, and City, it wasn't working out. The subs that they made didn't elevate the game really in any way, and Barca just kept finding their stride. Sadly, you can only hold them off for so long. And when you're defending for 90 minutes, it is not fun. Barca had a ton of chances and they ended up putting them away 3-0. So tough match for City. They still go on. Hopefully they have some of their key players back the next time they match up, but it was tough. I'll eat my words on my prediction.
We'll see if they
it happens.
There's going to be quarterfinals. There's going to be semifinals. There's going to be the final that takes place in May, the 24th. The draw for the knockouts is going to take place in February. So something to look forward to already in early 2025. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on all things Women's Champions League.
Yeah, the draw takes place, and then it all starts 18th, 19th of March, leading up to May for the final. It should be a good one. I love the Champions League. But you know what I love more? Attacking third. doing this show with you guys. Thank you. Don't forget, guys, we're nominated for 2 awards in the Best Football Podcast and also Diverse Voices Award in the Sports Podcast group. There's a link in the description on YouTube, description in the podcast. It's on the chat on YouTube. It's across our socials. Please go vote for us. It means the absolute world because we wouldn't be here and be able to do this without all of you, especially this year with all the growth that has happened. It is truly a testament to the people that listen, the people that watch us on Galazzo, on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, this does it for us for 2024. We're closing out the year, the end of Attacking Third. We will be back with A3 one-shots and one-off episodes when big news drops and breaks across YouTube and podcasts. So listen to us. We're not going anywhere. We're not really going that far. But this is it. Final words to the people, Darian, to close out 2024. Make us cry one more time.
I can't. I'm done making people cry in 2024. Come back 2025. But love you all. Thank you so much. I'm honored I get to do this with you guys, with Mark, with our entire crew. But it's been such a fun year, and I can't wait for next year. And you guys mean the world to me. And I hope everybody has the best holiday season and really get to reset and have really great intentions for next year.
Oh, I like that. Sandra, final thoughts for the people?
I'm going to go full A3 Homer and just say vote. Vote for us, please, in the awards that we're nominated for. Find the links in the description, Lisa, in the pod. And look, you just find it and vote for us. We appreciate y'all so much. There's hardly an A3 without folks who listen to us. So we appreciate y'all being here.
There is not an A3 without the people that listen and tune into us, and also without the glue that keeps us all together. Mark Seaman, our producer behind the scenes, he does so much work that you guys don't even know about. He's active in the chat. We know you guys on YouTube love him, but special love to Mark, our producer, and everyone that works on our A3 team all year round. There's so many of you to list off, Courtney and Audrey and all the people. But thank you guys. You do so much for us, but especially you guys, the listeners and the people that watch us. Thank you. That does it for 2024. For Darian, Sandra, Mark, our producer, I'm Lisa. This was Attacking Third.